Mordex back in the day, and yes, and you know what? Same exact skin, same exact color. It's old school Atrophius.
Atrophius is back in action, baby. So we're gonna see how it plays out here. TM also not on the Thatcher. I'm a little disappointed. We'll see how that plays out. But we do see that Scythe come out to play here, and this is something you were just talking about.
Yes, there it is. It's like we de-thawed, and we're back in the olden days again, before the online era. This is what I was expecting to see. Now, Kaya 2, one of my favorite legends of all time, super strong, unusually high amount of defense, bow for the short range, spear for the long range, great ledge guard potential, but Atrophius, with that anti-air, going for those dares on Scythe, could easily shut TM down.
And as you can see right now, they're doing a good job of actually keeping this pressure up and pushing them slowly across to the other side of the stage. But oh my goodness, a big old sig right there to close out that first stock. Atrophius on top.
Unbelievable. Love what we're seeing right now here. Now, that being said, though, TM does have the chance to bring it back. Kaya is a powerful, heavy-hitting legend, and we need to see that tie come out right now. Now, grounded games come through. Atrophius good for the startup. Tries to back away, but the spacing of TM simply too strong. Back and forth once again, dueling it out. Recovery, that does end the first stock. And for all intents and purposes, Skip, it's an even game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a very even game across the board. Yellow, especially a light yellow at that, is really not much for, like, trying to come back from, right? So they're definitely both, hanging in there. They're both doing a good time, or doing a good job, excuse me. However, what I do really hand for over to Atrophius is how grounded their game is. We see often in, platformers, and especially Brawlhalla, people love to throw out aerials. And I get it, they're quick moves, you're in the air, you're mobile, but being grounded is so underrated in any game. And the fact that Atrophius is doing that very, very well is the reason why they have a lead right now. No matter how minimal it is still a lead and a stock right there. And that's why, man, it leads to some huge gameplay.
So many more options open when you're willing to stick your feet onto the ground. And now Atrophius has that lead once again. The chip damage that can be applied by the Scythe, unbelievably strong. But TM, though, goes for the roundabout, tries to trip that damage as well. All it takes is a single signature to maybe even things up for this final stock of a best of 3.
Okay, as you can see, trying to keep him off the stage, but no, TM gonna battle the way back on, looking for a huge stock right there, not able to get it, and Atrophius still living some way, somehow. But you know what, I do like that, the weapon starvation still coming through, but Atrophius still gonna find a hit or two. And now we got the gauntlets in hand, looking for a big play here. They are barely into the orange, and now definitely getting into that color a little bit more. And Atrophius being sent off to the right side of the stage, trying to find their way back. That was a nice attempt, I do like that.
That sliding down stick is one of the most dangerous ones in the entire game. Recovery goes by, Atrophius out of options. Down to the final stock between these two of a best of 3. So there's at least one more game between these two afterwards. But this has been the most even game we've had so far, and pretty sure we passed that 5-minute mark.
Oh yeah, 100%. You know what? I feel like that's a blessing at this point.
Yes.
But either way, we do have TM kind of controlling the stage here. They are in the red. They do need to work a little bit harder. And again, the weapon starvation doesn't really seem to be a factor for Atrophius. They're battling it back with, their own fisticuffs. They don't need a weapon.
A bated breath right now between the two. Deep red on both legends. Left, but there we go. Gravity cancel, neutral sig. It's the Kaya that somehow owls away for that first game.
Yep, and I mean, that's definitely what they needed too, because Atrophius started off super strong and kind of kept that strong gameplay the whole way through. Eventually, we did see Kaya, TM, start to figure things out a little bit, start to put things into their favor. And actually, once we start looking at the damage differential here, that's definitely like 130-point difference. So, I mean, it's definitely a lot more dominant than I thought it was, but it's just that Atrophius definitely got off to a nice hot start, a couple really strong stocks, but it just took a little too long to build up some of that damage, it seems.
And I gotta say, I'm a little surprised we didn't see that spear come out into the very late game. If you looked at the damage, we only saw the spear, I think, apply, 80 damage overall? And you would think when you have a Mordex going up against you, that spacing is super important. That has been our running theme of the day. That gauntlet versus spear, anyone that creates space has usually not been able to win those engagements. So it makes sense not to have the spear, but when you have that slower, more kind of hippity-hoppy jumping Atrophius, you would think maybe you could see a nair or maybe even a side air to shut down that perspective.
But as we can see here, we're going to be getting into the next game. We do have a character switch, maybe 2 actually. But as we get into it, we're going to be going to Lions
he
here.
did that for me then.
Ooh. Okay, okay.
All right, the old school side now away. Out with the old and apparently in with the new. I have not seen Atrophius play Val yet. I really want to see what the impact can be made. Keep in mind, still on Gauntlets, so the Gauntlets are still going to be very, very dominant. But the sword, I feel, is a little bit more untested in this engagement.
I mean, it'll definitely give them a little bit, I think, stronger hitboxes, which is definitely what they struggled with towards the end of that game one, was just closing out some stocks. And Scythe and Gauntlets, I mean, they can close out stocks, but they don't have the strong, you know, KO power.
They don't have like that oomph to it, you know?
They didn't have the oomph. That's the biggest thing. Like, you kind of had to rely on some combos and building up a lot of damage. So that sword, I mean, granted the sword isn't like the big oomph factor like other weapons have, but it definitely helps them out a little bit.
It's like if you're not going to side air, you have to use a signature.
Oh, I like that. The empty hop. Oh, there we go. Taking that first stock there. That was actually a very impressive sequence.
Very nice, very nice. That being said, though, early chip damage is applied. Now, Atrophius weapon starving TM very, very well, ensuring that, again, no weapon can be picked up, and now good ledge guard potential. No signatures coming out whatsoever. A little too early to go for the signatures from Atrophius' end. TM just biding their time, kind of taking a few different hits, but now just kind of waiting it out, waiting to see if Atrophius goes for the overextension, maybe for the punish, but no, actually a very patient ledge guard coming out from Atrophius instead. Weapon throw comes out. TM seldom using the spear, only now coming underway, and it's a good finisher option for that first stock.
And man, there we go, off to a good start here, trying to answer back. I mean, they are almost in the orange or in that mac and cheese color, right? So it's definitely a little bit of a tough spot here, but TM is definitely battling back right now. And again, the weapon starvation, we saw this in game one, and now it's still a prevalent thing in game two. And honestly, this is probably what really helped them secure that game one, with especially the fact that Atrophius started off so strong. But oh, there we go, the Sig to get a little more damage on there.
And keep in mind, too, look at Atrophius' movement. A little bit less in the air than before. A little bit more grounded gameplay, especially with the sword coming through. Now, Atrophius having those entry options with that air, trying to go and find dares into a combo upwards has been that bread and butter. But TM, though, has been aware of that. A little bit more spear than normal. Weapon throw is found. Can't pick it back up again. But the bow struggling to find some of that pivotal chip damage to end the stock. And because of that, punish comes by. Atrophius retains the lead.
What a beautiful play there from Atrophius. You know, he just kind of took his time. He's like, look, I know I'm going to take, you know, I got to take my licks and just try to keep battling back. But, you know, they were able to close out that stock. But the dangerous thing here is that TM was doing a great job of evening things up, and now it's completely even. This is not looking good for Atrophius, I believe, in the long run, because it's been slowly getting into TM's favor once again.
And here we go. Racking up damage right now, name of the game. Even losing this final stock, not really that big of a deal. If you're Atrophius, you need to win this next stock or you're going to be out of the winner's bracket. That being said, though, full dominance of the stage. Not once, but twice, a nair to send TM below, but now the reverse double dare coming out from TM, ensuring maybe then the ledge guard victory. Not too many options, though. Atrophius does find one, brings themselves back to the stage. The double weapon throw leaves Atrophius unarmed.
And there we go, TM trying to poke their way back, but we got the sword coming in for Atrophius. He's been able to close out some fantastic stocks with this weapon. That's a huge start right there. Okay, some damage, getting him into the orange now, to trying to put him off stage. And now they're chasing him, and this could be part of the problem. TM's been doing a great job of actually kiting Atrophius around a bit more too.
Yeah, definitely a lot more movement options coming out. TM leading the show, acting like a maestro. Instead of a little baton, though, it is a spear. Though I do like it. The baton now gone. It's going to be a recovery, sending TM into the air. This is Atrophius' chance now to bring things to 1-1. Gauntlets are in hand. Good options for the signatures to close out this final stock. Great spot dodge. TM now struggling to find an entry point, having to bide their time. Red to red. A lot of defense of both these legends. A recovery sends TM into the sky.
Oh, and TM battling his way back to the ground too, and now maintaining control of the ground here. Not quite going to be able to take the stock. We go for the weapon toss because Atrophius is trying to ensure that they have a safe landing. Picks up a weapon, has the sword in hand. TM still trying to battle away back in here, trying to find a way to close this game out. It's going to be it. No, oh, he said get him. He doesn't get him. I can't believe I thought he was going to be able to survive. Absolutely crazy gameplay at the end there from TM. And looking off into the crowd, probably saw some of his friends pop it off, getting a little bit of a smirk right there. He knows what he did.
Look, I'm just so happy we get to see the old school Mordex. Now look, he took the headset off. I know Atrophius can hear me right now. Atrophius, thank you so much for showing off the OG, old school Mordex. I really appreciate you. You know, to be a little biased, one of my favorite players of all time too.
Oh man, you're fanboying out right now. But hey, I get it.
A little bit.
Listen,
wait till we get Pugsy.
Hey, listen, when you see a player you really appreciate, I get it. I mean, especially if they inspired any of your game plan, or they're just a big part of your like early entry into the scene, someone you really like to watch. Totally get it. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'd be the same way for like Bizarro
Pugsy.
Flame. If I ever ran into a Bizarro Flame, that's a melee thing, but still. That's one of my favorite players of all time, so I totally get it. So either way, fantastic stuff all the way across the board here. And we're already getting into our 4th set. I mean, that set was definitely the slowest that we've had, but I can't believe we're almost already done with yet another block, man. We're just flying by.